Today we're doing the ultimate comfort food in the slow cooker.
Melt in your mouth beef with a rich, velvety gravy.
Serve it over mashed potatoes for the ultimate dinner. Trust us, folks, when you serve this, no one's gonna say,
"Where's the beef?"
that is for sure.
Remember that little old lady?
Of course, we all do. There's the beef.
There it is.
No one's gonna question
Actually,
that.
the boomers and the Gen X's remember where's the beef.
I think that's such an iconic commercial everyone remembers. If you
And here's the beef, yes.
Here it is. If you don't, you won't have to worry about it. So we got, this is like a 3-pound chuck roast that I'm seasoning with a salt and pepper. So I've cut this up into really big chunks. When you're doing beef tips, they're more than just tips. They're like little loaves of meat. And
you want me to mix this up a little bit? Okay.
And then when they ultimately go into the slow cooker and they cook for like 7 or 8 hours, they're going to cook down a little bit. They're also going to get so like Wesley said, melt in your mouth.
Melt in your mouth.
You don't want them to get so much to the point that they shred. I mean, if that happens, that's okay. That means it's unbelievably tender. But you kind of
you want those beef tips.
You do. You want those. You want there to be some sustenance, some substance to this dish.
Yeah.
So we are starting things off. You may say, well, where's your slow cooker? Well, you don't have to do this. You can definitely do this as a dump and go type of recipe and skip this. But if you really want to do for the ultimate flavor, I've got 2 tablespoons of either vegetable oil or olive oil, and I'm just going to sear these. Thank you.
Yes.
Until they get nice and browned all over. It just helps
lock in that flavor.
Locks in the flavor. It really does.
Lock it in.
Lock it in, baby. And then we're going to saute some onions, and then it all goes into the slow cooker, and then you're basically done at that point. Okay, so like I said, we did this in batches, and just get it until it's nice and browned all over, and now we're going to remove it. We're not quite done yet.
I love those big chunks.
I know. Wesley insisted that we make them as big as possible.
That's because they cook down after 7 hours.
They do, and they like I said, they do tend to shred on you if they're too small. Yeah. So now
look at that, guys.
So now I'm going to add about another teaspoon of I'm cooking with olive oil actually, but you could do vegetable oil or canola oil. This is one onion, medium sized to large, that I've diced. It's about a cup, and we are going to we're going to go ahead and saute this again. You're like, I thought you'd do the point of slow cookers. You don't have to do this kind of stuff.
Go ahead.
Well, what this does is it helps deepen the flavor. Again, you could just put the onions in the crock pot directly. You'd still get it delicious. But all of this can also be done in advance, and then you turn the crock pot on in the morning, or however you want to do it. But we're just going to show you. Also, we'll show you later with these flavor enhancers that we're going to add. A lot of people, when they do this, when they do beef tips and gravy, they'll use like an onion packet.
Or like a gravy packet.
A gravy packet, and that's fine. I mean,
that's fine.
There's nothing, that's fine. We're not here to judge. No, I've done sort of that. We have a.
I'm spoiled.
I know we have a Mississippi roast recipe where we do use packets. You just have to be careful because you don't know really like the salt content that's in those things. They're usually so high. And, from scratch is just the way we like to roll. Yeah. So now I just added a tablespoon of tomato paste.
And I've got a 1/4 cup of this beef broth.
You're going to start with 2 cups. Don't pour it in yet. Not yet. In a moment. We're going to let this just cook until it deepens those onions. And this is really locks in that flavor. Yeah, calm down. Then what we'll do is once this goes a few minutes, then we'll add that broth, and we're going to deglaze it and get all that flavor up there. Then it all goes into the slow cooker. Those onions are wonderful. So we'll let those go with the tomato paste for about 3 minutes, and then I poured in a quart. You're going to have a total, I think I said this already, a total of 2 cups of beef broth. We're going to take a 1/4 cup of that, pour it in, and just use a wooden spatula or something to scrape up that yumminess, that deliciousness at the bottom of the pan. Okay.
That looks so good.
It does. Now we've got our beloved slow cooker. Now we're going to take that meat, and we're going to dump it in there along with all those
juices.
There's flavor in there. Now, okay, good. So now you start shoveling in those onions, and I'm going to start shoveling in all of this other stuff that is going to make it so deeply. This beats the packets by so much. This right here is called Better. It's a brand called Better Than Beef Bouillon. It's very similar to a demi-glaze, but it's easy to find. You can find it in the soup section of most supermarkets. If you can't, then you can just use a bouillon cube. And if you can't do that, you're going to be fine even with a beef broth. Okay, this, let me see if I can, these all look alike. This is a tablespoon of soy sauce. It's going to give a little bit of salt and just a depth of flavor that's awesome.
I think I got them all.
This is 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Flavor, flavor, flavor. We're going to just keep building that flavor. We got a teaspoon.
It's so beefy.
A teaspoon of balsamic vinegar because, you know, there's loads of flavor in there. And then we've got a teaspoon of, this is dried thyme, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm going to add it into the party. And then we're going to add, now remember there's soy sauce, so you don't need to over salt. You can salt later, taste and salt later, but I'm going to do a teaspoon of salt. Also, if you wanted to control your salt, you could do unsalted beef broth, which is what Wesley is about to add right now.
This is unsalted.
So that's the, well, it's low sodium.
Right.
Just remember that there is salt components in your soy, in the broth, and then what you've added. So you don't want to oversalt. Now, as I'm going to stir this up, you want to set this. We're going to put this on low. And it only takes about 7 hours for it to get super, super tender. You could do it on high for probably 4 hours and you'd be good. Slow is, I think, the way to go.
So I'm going all the way up to
7 hours.
right.
Check it at 7. You may feel like if it needs to be even more tender, it could go 8. But we usually find 7.
7.
Is perfecto.
We're on 7.
Okay. All right. Now just wait for your house to smell like a beef extravaganza.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to.
I love a beef extravaganza.
All right, we're not leaving yet, but we're going to go take a break, and then we come back and eat. Okay, I mean, the smell is off the charts.
It's ridiculous.
So this has been going for about 5 hours and 45 minutes, and so we've got only probably another 15 minutes to go. Let's look at this.
Oh, my.
Wowzers,
Oh, Lordy.
So now, okay. So now what you'll see, I mean, that meat is just so tender.
Oh, and it's still intact. Sometimes it would fall apart.
Yeah.
I like it intact.
I know, we know that. So we want this to turn into like a really luscious gravy, and this is so that we're gonna have our friend.
Yes,
the cornstarch slurry.
Yes, we've been using a lot of cornstarch.
I know, we've been slurring a lot lately, and not for the fun reasons.
So how much how much is that cornstarch?
That is 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and that is a 1/4 cup of just a cool tap water.
So I'm just gonna kind of pour some
pour
water.
it in there.
All of it, Kris?
Yeah, just pour it all in there.
Okay.
This is Wesley's first slurry
I
of
know.
this type.
Well, stop it.
I know.
All right. Oh, and I want to get it all mixed up, right?
Yes. Yeah, you want to, and it takes a little bit to get it worked in. And so what that will do is we're just going to add that into here. We're going to stir it and let it go. You can hit
I think I'm good.
Put it on high, so it gets nice and hot.
Ready for me?
Yeah, and then we'll just kind of gently pour this in. Yeah. Sometimes you see it starts to thicken up almost immediately. Yeah, you're good.
Just pour it?
Yeah, just pour in.
You told me.
I know. Well, I mean, sometimes you just dump it.
Oh, it is
See,
already.
It's almost like instantly. So we're gonna, I want to get it a little thicker. So we're gonna let this go for probably another, I don't know, not much longer until it feels like it's really right. I mean, it's close. Probably another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna.
Oh, you're killing me.
Heat up some mashed potatoes, and then you get to eat. Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous.
It's time. So now we're gonna do one little finishing touch because I just can't help myself.
Just because you need butter.
Butter. So butter, this is 2 tablespoons of softened butter. Doesn't have to be softened, but it just gives it this luxurious
just melt that butter.
sheen to it that is incredible. Now you see that meat, it's so tender, it is starting to
Don't break it up.
shred a little bit, but that's okay. What's wrong with that? Okay.
It's okay.
So now we've got, this is...
I like to stab a big piece of meat.
Yeah, I know you do.
With my fork.
So this is fantastic. So we've got some mashed potatoes here. It's also really good if you cook up some
you can have some
buttered noodles. That is a wonderful thing to
get as close as we can. Sorry.
Put that over.
Buttered noodles, yes.
How's that grab you? I think this. If you ever want to know how to shut the loon up, do this. He becomes utterly speechless.
I didn't realize I was hard to shut up.
Well,
here we go. Come to you.
I am so excited for this.
Wow.
This really is comfort. I mean, it is the ultimate comfort.
Fabulous. Here, let's get this out of the way. Let's put this between us.
Out of the way. Okay.
And then I'm going to give you your mate. Right there.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. That is gorgeous.
Boy.
Okay, here's your fork.
There's my fork.
And this
Okay,
heat.
and this is it. I mean, maybe have a little bread, and you are golden, baby.
Oh, y'all, look at that. That rich, velvety gravy. I'm gonna have to
Devour it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just blow on this meat because I want to put this chunk in here.
All right, I'm going in. Literally melts in your mouth. Again, if there was ever a dish that was made for this person right here, and probably you guys too.
That is so stupid. Stupid good, stupid delicious. And you
really
just
is.
throw that into a crock pot.
I know. You do a little work at the beginning, but it's so worth it. It adds a depth of flavor that just it really is.
You know, when I was younger, my mother would use a packet to make gravy, or brown gravy, which is fine. But this is ridiculous.
The difference is really night and day.
It is.
You guys.
All right, I'm gonna make a fool of myself because I'm gonna eat this. Even though it's hot, I'll be burning on the way down. This is 1,000,000,000% improved.
I told you, this is it. But you guys, you gotta make this. It's so good. It's classic for a reason. It is comfort. It just warms you.
I am making all the noises.
Especially, we're doing this when it's in the dead of winter, even though here in Texas it doesn't feel like it. But this is winter comfort food at its very best. All right, you guys.
I'm dying. This is so
He's
good.
Dying over there, and we're telling you we
love
love
you.
Make beef tips and gravy.
Beef what?
Tips.